Yeah, hello. Good morning and welcome to this webinar on higher education of future of engineering education prospects by Professor Dilip Malkede, which has been organized by NMAM Institute of Technology, NITE, in Udupi district of Karnataka state. At the outset, let me welcome the speaker, Professor Dilip Malkede, for this webinar, and also I welcome all the participants who have registered for this particular webinar. NMM Institute of Technology, NITE, as you may be aware, this is in the west coast of Karnataka. It is a institute which is academically autonomous institute affiliated to Visvesvaraya Technological University, Belgavi, and the institution was started in the year 1986, and we are a NAC A grade institute with all our undergraduate program accredited by NBA. During 2019's MHRD NIRF ranking, we were placed at 128th position, and very recently, that's a couple of days back, we were also awarded with a certificate from QS Gauge for e-lead initiatives. In fact, in the present scenario, all of us, all the educators, the parents, the students, they're all worried about what will be the prospects of engineering education in the days to come. And when we requested Professor Dilip Malkede through our mechanical engineering department of the college, that is through HOD of mechanical engineering, Professor Shashikant Karinka, he agreed to give this particular webinar, and I'm very sure that with his vast experience in the field of education and administration, all of us will get benefited at the end of this particular webinar. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome Professor Dilip Malkede and all the attendees of this particular webinar. Thank you.
Now let me introduce Professor Dilip Malkede. I am very much delighted to introduce an extraordinary person, a luminary, a researcher, teacher, academician, mentor, administrator, above all a great human being. Professor Dilip Malkede is Advisor 1, Head of the Bureau of Policy and Academic Planning. Prior to joining AICT, he was Professor and Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering at College of Engineering, Pune, in short COEP. He obtained his bachelor and master degree in mechanical engineering from Government College of Engineering, Amaravati, Maharashtra, followed by doctoral degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. He has a total of 30 plus years of experience in teaching and industry put together. As an advisor at AICTE, he is currently heading the Policy and Academic Planning Bureau. He deals with matters related to maintaining norms and standards in central, state deemed, private de novo deemed to be universities. He also deals with matters related to constitution of the executive committee, regional committees of AICTE, and in all India boards of niche in UG education in engineering and technology, PG education and research in engineering and technology, management education, pharmacy education, applied arts, apps and design education, architectural engineering, hospitality and tourism management education, town and country planning education, technician education, IT education, vocational education, etc. At AICT, he has also taken several quality improvement initiatives for improvement of technical education in India through various schemes such as RPS, MODROPS, Hostel for SC/ST students, Hostel for physically disabled students, Seminar Grant, Conference Grant, and variety of scholarship schemes for different category of students. Special schemes for Northeast India are designed. His focus is quality improvement through faculty trainings. He is the originator of the new scheme NDF for full-time funded research in AICT approved colleges. Scheme for sending student teams for participating in competition abroad has brought laurels to the country. He has been instrumental in organizing Smart India Hackathon 2017 and for 2018, which is a nationwide students competition for solving citizens' problems. The competition was supported by 27 different Government of India ministries with very large number of students participating in 36 hours long non-stop computer programming event simultaneously happening in 26 different cities in the country. As an academician, is a approved PhD guide. His area of research is IC engines, its modeling and simulation, and electronic controls. He has to his credit several journals and conference papers. As a professor and head of the department at College of Engineering Pune, he transformed the department by starting co-teaching for every course, setting up Tinkerers labs for project-based learning through teams of students such as Baja, Epicycle, Go-Kart, and Solar Powered Car. Baja COEP has brought laurels not only to COEP by being national champion, but also brought laurels to the country by excelling in Baja South Africa and Baja USA. He has put up state-of-art Kirloskar Ice Engine Laboratory. He has been guiding PhD students and published several research papers as told earlier. He has totally revolutionized the Prime Minister's special scholarship scheme that brought thousands of Jammu Kashmir students into mainstream by providing them educational opportunities in the rest of India. These students are spread now across India and they are engaged in development of our motherland. He is a firm believer of solving Kashmir issue through education. He has also conceptualized and started QIP scheme from 2018-19 for
Thank
sending
you.
for doing PhD from 500 top global universities. The scheme will open this option to about 1,000 faculty. With this brief introduction, I warmly welcome Professor Dilip Malkede for this webinar. And now it is over to you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Professor Karinka, for a wonderful introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Let me first thank you and your principal, Professor Niranjan Chiplunkar, and other team members, Professor Grinal, Professor Raghavendra Pai, for giving me this opportunity to talk to the faculty members in your region. I'm very delighted to be here to talk on the topic that you have given. And the topic given is higher education of future. Is a very difficult and broader subject. But let us see in next 50-55 minutes, I will try to cover as much as possible. Uh, Let me at the outset share with the audience. And before that, I would like to thank the audience also for registering for this webinar. And I would like to add that Professor Karinka, who is HOD there, he was my senior colleague at IIT Bombay. But before I joined, he had left, and we used to only hear the stories of Professor Karinka as to how, a good researcher. He was one of the best researcher in IIT Bombay in the IC engine laboratory, where he had developed the gas engines about 22 years before.
Thank you, sir.
He is the pioneer of development of IC engine, particularly gas engines, and lot of publications. And definitely after that, he had moved to industry. But glad that a thorough academician having long list of publications and background of development of engine has come back to academics. He'll be great asset for your institution, Professor Chiplunkar.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Uh, thank you once again. And now I would like to plan my talk in say uh, 3-4 parts. Initially, I will start with the current system of education that we have in our country, and then what was the switch over from industry education 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0, and now we are moving to 4.0. But this COVID has come, and now it has actually blocked all our paths, and now we will be having a different direction. Maybe we'll have to meet the requirements of the industry, future industry, which we do not know what the industry will be because of this COVID. There are changes, major changes, which are also likely to happen in the industry too. Let me share with you that the current education system that we have has grown in last 70 years, say from independence 1947 till today. if we look at the journey of our own system, not only technical education, but the overall higher education system, you will be surprised to know that initially in 1950, say, when our constitution was accepted, we had only 30 universities all across the country. And such a huge country, big country like India. And only 30 universities and about 700 colleges, even less than 700. And it has increased to almost 600 universities and 33,000 colleges until 2010. So about 10 years before, 600, less than 600 universities and 33,000 colleges. And now in last 10 years, again the expansion took place very rapidly. And now we have about 900 universities in the country and 42,500. Am I audible, Professor Karinka?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So maybe you can now mute your mics. There was some noise, so I thought there is some disturbance. Okay. So about 900 universities we have, 42,500 colleges we have, such a huge system of education. And a typical nature of that education system, which is different than the education system in the world, is that India, which earlier was comprising of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and mainland India, we have had the affiliating type of education system where there is one university and another university has about 100, 200, 300 colleges affiliated to it. So, because in early days we did not have good number of academicians and then maybe not having good system, good infrastructure available in colleges, which will be enough for development of curriculum, setting up question paper, conducting examination, declaring the results, and therefore we were dependent on a parent body, which was the university. But with this system of education, we have only in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and also Nepal, because Nepal is our neighbor and they follow us. But not in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, you may be knowing, just 18 kilometers from the southernmost end, they have different education system, and this education system has made colleges dependent, too much dependent on the university. And every time the new education policy is framed, right from 1986, the Kothari Commission, these commissions have been recommending to stop this system of education. And this, even the current national education policy also recommends that the colleges should become more and more autonomous. They should be more and more having autonomy, independent, and they will be able to then do the experiments. They will have more freedom. They will be able to design the curriculum as per their needs and as per the local needs. But this is now toward this we were moving, and therefore there was growth in terms of number of universities, and lot of colleges with autonomous status have also opened. We are the second largest technical education system in the world. The biggest system of technical education is in China, where they produce 1.2 million engineers per year, and we are next to them, and we have a capacity of producing about 1.0 million, means about 10 lakh students per year is what we have, and this was the size, and therefore enrollment, number of institutions were all growing in last 20 years. Uh, So, in a way, we were expanding, a lot of infrastructure is created. Like in this college, we have a wonderful infrastructure, and almost all the colleges, particularly the private ones and central government funded institutions, have great infrastructure. and we have administrative structure also very much in place. You'll be surprised to know that there are about 18 to 20 different regulatory systems. We have uh, apex bodies like CABE, National Knowledge Commission was set up. Niti Aayog is there to look at what we do. MHRD is there to monitor what is happening in the country in terms of this higher and school education. There is UGC, AICT, there are Council of Architecture, Pharmacy Council of India, and lot of councils which are regulatory bodies for different types of regulations, different types of education systems. They are all in place. For example, for law education, Bar Council of India is there, and there for agriculture, Indian Council for Agriculture Research. ICMR, you must have been hearing now. ICMR is Indian Medical Council of Medical Research. Indian Medical Council of India is also there, Dental Council of India, all these councils, including Veterinary Council of India. So this regulatory framework is there, infrastructure is there. So a lot of development that took place in last many years. So we were actually ready to take any challenge in terms of higher education, and we wanted to reach out to the furthermost region of the country. Every small village we were planning to reach. Uh, as you know, current topic of discussion in the academic and industry is Industry 4.0 and in Education 4.0, because Education 4.0 to meet the Industry 4.0 requirements. And therefore, we were planning to do what is the requirement of the industry, to meet out the requirement of the industry. But that we had been doing right from the industry revolution 1.0. When steam engines came in, railway started, and there were mechanical engineers being produced, civil engineers produced, having a lot of applications of thermodynamics, engines, steam engines, steam generator, turbines, and then came the second industry revolution when electricity was supplied to the machines and machines had motors, electrical motors, manufacturing speed increased, and earlier machines used to have engines to operate machines. Now it was electrical power, and we then uh, started teaching more of manufacturing, machining, because mass production started, and industrialization got expanded during Industry 2.0 revolution. Industry 3.0 revolution was robotics, numerical control machines, CNC machines, automation started, mass production started, production cost became cheaper, and we were already, academics was ready to provide the manpower, having more of electronics, more of computer engineers. That is why in last 25 years there was expansion, tremendous expansion of technical education, where electronics, computer science, engineering, microprocessor, VLSI, this was being taught. Now Industry 4.0 demanded something more. And that Industry 4.0, where all the machines were connected, fitted with microprocessor, but microprocessor having artificial intelligence built in, IoT built in, therefore these machines were capable of talking to each other, and they were capable of taking the decisions themselves. Decision in terms of how much raw material should come, how much to be produced, how much finished product should go, and which date it should go. So all became automated, and therefore we were gearing up to meet out the requirements of the Industry 4.0, where not only robots but autonomous robots, simulation, cyber security, additive manufacturing, augmented reality, virtual reality, system integration, industrial IoT, big data analytics were the requirements of the industry. And as you know, the future lies in Industry 4.0, There is tremendous demand. There are private players into education, and their courses are being sold at very, very high cost. We are all aware of it. And AICT was not lagging with the leadership that we have at AICT in the form of the dynamic chairman, Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, uh, who has been here for almost 5 years, Professor Punia, Vice Chairman, AICT, and our member secretaries, Professor Mittal previously and Professor Rajiv Kumar now. Under this leadership, the team of AICT officers are working, and we have this from this year started giving approvals to the colleges to start courses in these areas. These areas, as I told, they are artificial intelligence, robotics, cyber security, Internet of Things, quantum computing, 3D printing, blockchain, data science, augmented reality, virtual reality will all be taught in your colleges if you have sought the approvals for. And current approval process of approving courses, giving extension of approvals to the colleges is coming to an end, and there is tremendous interest of the people. Now, if we start offering a BTech course in these areas, what will happen? This student will take admission in the first year, they will move to the second and third and then fourth, and then it will take 4 5 years. By that time, maybe there will be Industry 5.0, and the students will face difficulty in getting the job, and moreover, there will be a scarcity of staff in engineers in industry. Therefore, we thought of starting uh, a module of a bunch of courses. So in each of these 9 areas, which we call as emerging areas, will be offered, and in each of these areas, for example, in artificial intelligence, there will be 6 7 8 courses, and student will be required to take some of them. If they complete, say, 18 to 20 credits in addition to their credits at a BTech level, which they are otherwise also required to earn, they will be getting additional small mini degrees. Now, if the computer science student takes in these areas which is belonging to computer science, which is emerging technology, emerging area in computer science, he will be getting a honors degree. BTech honors in computer science with artificial intelligence, for example, as a specialization. And if mechanical engineer takes this degree, then he will be getting a minor degree in artificial intelligence. So mechanical or computer or electronics, all these students are eligible to take these courses, because these are more of uh, courses which are of application in nature, and not the core computer science or electronic science. And therefore, uh, any student who finds it interesting can take it, and the student will be benefited by getting them additional degree. So if they are able to own these courses while they are doing BTech, it's fine. Otherwise, they may stay back for a semester and take these courses and then join the industry. Students who are passed out and who are looking for the job, they are taking courses from the private players. And these courses are very expensive. Some of the courses are costing about 4.5 lakhs, 5 to 5 lakhs. And therefore, in my opinion, it is very important that we offer these courses in our colleges, so that there is no burden on the students, and the students who are with a financially who poor background can also undertake career in these areas, and they also go to the industries where there is a requirement for Industry 4.0. Now, is the question whether do we have the faculty? So AICT has in last uh, few years has been conducting training programs, and these training programs are funded training programs, whether they are face to face or online, organized by, funded by The universities or RIFT Bureau of EICT, which I was earlier heading, we have small courses, 2 weeks longer courses, courses conducted in NITs, IITs through our funding. Atal Academy of EICT has started training programs in these emerging areas. We have tied up with IST, funding given by AICT. They have conducted training programs. Technical universities have conducted training programs through the funding provided by AICT. Online programs are there. NPTEL and AICT signed MOU. NPTEL is offering courses in these areas. So through the network of the technical universities, IST, NPTEL, we have trained many faculties all across the country, and therefore enough faculty members are available currently in the country because of these initiatives, and these faculty are capable of training the students these courses. What is important is now the communication, as you know, machines are talking. Probably this in few years, just for few years, these robots, group of robots will be talking to each other, and they will be doing the team work. The machines in the workshop, they are also fitted with Wi-Fi and microprocessors and artificial intelligence. They are also interacting, they are also talking, and they are capable of taking the decision. Therefore, they are also interacting, they are communicating. So two cars on the road also will have microprocessors, they will be Wi-Fi fitted, and they will also be taking the decisions, and the cars will know where the car ahead and car behind, the plan, the speed at which they are moving, and their direction, future direction, and they will decide their own direction and the speed. So this is one application of Industry 4.0, and all this requires manpower, technical manpower, and EICD being very important body. We need to understand the future requirements, and therefore we were ready uh, to offer these courses. We are fully aware that for the universities, it is very difficult to modify the curriculum uh, so rapidly. We are aware that the process that we have of board of BOS and the Senate takes a lot of time, and if something comes from the top, it becomes easy for the university to accept it. And therefore, AICT had in 2017 started the work, and in 2018 we had released AICT model curriculum, which you are all aware of, for about 8 undergraduate programs. So 8 undergraduate programs, which are major undergraduate engineering programs, we have given the curriculum, and which is a transformation in the technical education, because number one, there are some features. It itself will take 1 hour of session to understand what are the changes. But some major features of new curriculum which universities have started adopting, and probably which your college also must have started adopting in since 2018, is that we have reduced the learning load of the students. So instead of 200 credits for 4 years, it has been brought down to 160. Now, these students got a lot of time now to uh, think, learn the course, go into the depth. Otherwise, they were bombarded one course after the other. And therefore, we could do some innovation, like we could make summer internship now mandatory for them. They have some time. We wanted some time to be spent in industry so that they have hands-on experience in the industry, or otherwise there are many models of providing internships, and they spend time there so that they are exposed to the practical difficulties, practical applications in the field. Uh, we have also started induction program. So initial 3 weeks, students are not taught anything. We could take out these 3 weeks for very useful purpose, and we call it an induction program. In induction program, what happens is we do not teach them anything formal, and we expect them to open up, talk to each other, student talking to the students, student talking to the faculty, and even faculty talking to the faculty, because they are not teaching anything formal in the class. They spend more time on hobbies, their hobbies, they're talking about hobbies, and they're doing something on hobbies. There is a scope, lot of scope given for them to create something. uh, Time given for attending lectures on universal human values, which are so important in life, to be a good human being, to be a good engineer, to spend some time on reading, writing, playing, seeing, watching, meeting the people in the laboratories, going to the departments, going to the faculty members and getting introduced to them. All these things are done in the first 3 weeks, and lot of scope for innovation is given. And this is all the feature of the induction program. And there is a inbuilt characteristic also of doing some experiments laboratory in our curriculum. I'm talking coming back to the curriculum. So hands-on, summer internship, induction, reduced teaching load are some of the key aspects, and there are many other good features of the curriculum. You are also, I'm sure, aware of the activity that EICT had started, which was Smart India Hackathon in 2017, and which Professor Karinka just now mentioned while he introduced to me that I was uh, taking initiative in 2017, 2018. We handled it at EICT, and this has connected the students in the country, in the technical education, with the problems of the country. So let me tell you in 1 minute what it is. It is the hackathon, which is a competition. There are, on one hand, we have a lot of problems, which which are the problems of the citizens, and we are fully aware that India's problems are India's problems, and no one can solve these problems other than Indians, because no other country is facing these issues. We are unique, and our problems are also unique, and therefore we only will have to solve these problems. On the other hand, we have a lot of manpower and technically qualified and energetic manpower, and therefore this hackathon was a competition of solving our own problem, and the students were given opportunity to select one problem, think about it, and give a innovative solution. To your surprise, 2017, 42,000 students shown interest in solving the problems. And we generally think that students are not interested. They will just mug up the answers and they will come to the examination hall and they will go back, and they're not interested. No, that's not true. 42,000 students shown interest. Next year, 1 lakh students shown interest, and subsequent year, which I was not the part of, but it was again AICT's initial 2 years I was. In 2019, 2 lakh students participated. They have shown interest. And this then was, the process carried out for 3 months, 4 months. Students gave innovative solutions. Teams were selected. Some of the teams were called at different centers, about 30 in number in the country, and these students have demonstrated their solution. And because it was 36 long hour non-stop competition, because simultaneously happening at 30 different places all across the country, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also addressed through video conferencing, like I'm addressing you through video conferencing. There, our Honorable Prime Minister talked to these students every year since 2017. And this has this is the first of its kind experiment where the technical manpower is connected with the country's problem. And this competition has expanded now even beyond our country, and there were some hackathons organized outside India. Now, because of COVID, we have been facing problems, but we need to look at whether we were prepared to take the challenges. We are now ready to move ahead. And because it was so digital in nature, I mean, yesterday you did not know that from tomorrow the college will be closed. And therefore, this is a kind of digital switch from zero to one, or one to zero. College was running and now the college is not running. And therefore, these students and the teachers have started engaging into their online education. And we all know, we are aware that this MIT as open course where Khan Academy, Udemy, EDX, and there are many platforms where this online education was being offered. But we should be very proud of our own online system. And I feel very proud to share with you that the online education system that we had in the form of a Swayam courses is the biggest online education platform in the world. We have largest number of courses. Currently, although looked after by IIT Madras, but it was initiated in 2016-17 at AICT, and AICT had developed this Swayam portal where 2,500 odd courses are available. So you just name the course and you find the course, and that too course offered by a top faculty of IIT, and you can take that course online. You can also get yourself evaluated. So learning and evaluation both are possible. We had NPTEL before Swayam. NPTEL was open courses, video courses available. That was our first experiment. And that was done almost 10 years before 2000, since 2010, 2009, these NPTEL courses were available. And many of even our teachers had started taking courses on NPTEL. So in next 1 minute, I would like to share with you, although it was a switch over from face-to-face class to online teaching, we were so much ready that sometimes I doubt as if we were actually anticipating something this COVID that is going to happen to the world, and we were gearing up and we were developing courses, and more number of courses were developed actually in last 1 year. And I have a long list, and that I would like to share with you. For example, NPTEL is of course one experiment, and that was a very successful experiment. But there it had some limitation, and therefore Swayam came, where you have option of writing examination, interacting with faculty, submitting assignments, and learning through video. Then Arpit courses is another platform, and through Arpit, faculty members can take education, ARPIT. These Arpit courses are also available for the faculty to take. Then we had four NEETers. One is in Chennai, southern, your side. And there is one in Calcutta, one in Chandigarh, one in Bhopal. So four NEETers have also developed a lot of online video courses. Then about 2016, beginning January 2016, we had started a ambitious program by Government of India, which is GIAN, GIAN, Global Initiative of Academic Network, under which 1950, around close to 2000, courses were approved by them and 1600 courses conducted. Now, these 1600 courses are all video recorded. Whose courses are they? These courses are actually offered by faculty from foreign university who was invited here. We had given honorarium to them and taken the responsibility of their transportation, airfare, stay, and honorarium, and they were requested to deliver talks on all the advanced areas, maybe in the areas where we do not have the expertise. And to your surprise, 1600 such courses are completed and 200, 300 courses are in pipeline. GIAN. This is looked after by IIT Kharagpur, and GIAN, if you type, you will get the first link and you will be surprised to see these courses. So NPTEL, SWAYAM, Arpit, NEETer courses, GIAN courses, they are all available. Also, NITT courses, which are again 8 courses of, 8 in numbers for the faculty, which is mandatory for every engineering faculty to take. National Initiative for Technical Teachers Training, which is initiative of EICT, of which the regulation will come sooner. The courses are ready. Courses were ready before Corona. These courses are also offered, but regulation will come. These courses have started, we have started only during lockdown period, and huge interest is seen from the faculty. So this long list of courses, along with last and very, very important set of course, is NEAT, which is for students. And this NEAT is not developed by us. It is developed by Indian private players. They were all asked to upload their contents on one single portal developed by AICTE, and students were having freedom to choose any course. So anything that they find the difficulty in learning, they can learn from here. And I am not very sure, but the number of students who have uh, clicked these courses are close to crores. So very huge number of students are showing interest, faculty are showing interest. If you just type NPTEL certificate and look at the images, you'll find hundreds of certificates appearing before you. These are the faculty members who obtained the certificates after the completion of the course. And most of the faculty getting 70%, 80% to even 90% marks in those courses. So this education has become popular. So online education may have some drawbacks, but I am just talking about, I'm not saying that we should switch over to online education, but online education is something which is very important part of the today's education system that we have to all agree. Uh, Online courses development will still happen in newer and newer courses, newer and newer areas, emerging technologies. These courses will keep on developing, and all this faculty who are listening to me today can go to SWAYAM portal and find out the opportunity for submitting their proposal for development of the course. And there are said 9 national coordinators. Depending on your interest, you can go to the NC national coordinator and apply for developing a course. Now, next and very important part is, which is the future of higher education, which you ask me. We are all aware, in Germany the education, medical or engineering, is happening in Germany. In Spain it's Spanish. In many countries, China, it is Chinese. In Japan, it is Japanese. It's because in mother tongue you understand the subject better. And even the smaller countries, they are not ready to switch over to English. We, although a huge country, we have not switched over to our engineering education in mother tongue. And it is now difficult also, but we know the importance, realizing this importance, the recent initiative and activity that we have started is translating SWAYAM courses, at least few of them, 100, 200 courses, which are very popular courses, to translate in popular mother tongues. We have thousands of languages in the country. It's difficult, practically difficult to translate into every mother tongue, and there may not be enough takers also. But there are some languages which we have identified, eight languages, including Hindi and Tamil, of course, is there. Tamil, Malayalam, and Kannada, they are there, and Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Marathi. These languages, the courses, at least popular courses, about 200 courses will be available, and student will be able to watch video in English, but the English is no translation will be available for him to read. And this may make Swayam more user friendly and more useful for those students, particularly first year students who switch over, who come, live their non-native places and come to the bigger cities, bigger colleges. For the first time, they go to big institutions like yours, and then they are puzzled and they're not accustomed with the accent that you use, and therefore in the room they can go in the evening and they can read what you taught, and then that may connect, that may create in them the interest about engineering. So you will be sooner find these translated courses in Swayam very sooner. Uh, whether there is a lot of debate going on whether online is better or face to face is better. Uh, this is my personal opinion, that it is always, better to learn the new technology. If there is any, at the outset only, let me talk about it. If there is any apprehension amongst faculty that the faculty will be maybe, in future, if not this year, maybe losing the jobs, in my opinion, with online, because the teaching becomes interesting, there will be more requirement, but not lesser requirement. And this should also be taken very seriously by the institutions also, that online doesn't mean the replacement. This video is the replacement of a faculty. No, videos cannot replace faculty, and there will be more questions, and probably you will require more faculty for smaller batches, to deal with, in some smaller batches, to deal with the problems, tutorials, for interaction. You will be requiring more faculty definitely, but not less, and therefore there need not be any apprehension about switching over to online education, because online education has many advantages. There was mad rush immediately after this lockdown started, and this rush, which was a mad rush, needs to be controlled, needs to be done in a coordinated way, because the students have gone home and all the teachers said, now you attend my course and not his course, and you submit my assignment, because I have to finish and I have to evaluate you. And he may be also evaluating, but his you can do it in the night, and now your daytime you do mine. So it was a rush, and students were complaining about it. And I think if it is done in a coordinated manner, I think this can be a good way of learning. There are advantages because this is anywhere. Best teacher is available. Uh, the disadvantage is, if you leave it to the students to take online course and no teacher to take care of the candidate from within, face to face, the dropout is huge. The student may take one course. Now there is a regulation that student be allowed to take one course out of 5 courses in every semester through online mechanism, which is 20%. So that regulation is in public domain, and your university, autonomous colleges are fully aware of it. So if there are 5 courses in semester, you can take one course through online, and online evaluation will be done. That can be recognized by the autonomous colleges and universities, is already there, and this 20% may increase, but the dropout is huge, and therefore there is a human intervention required. And you are all aware that through online mechanism you have started teaching. So we have many tools available, like in starting with Zoom, Facebook, YouTube Live, like today's YouTube live is happening, Skype, Google Hangout, and list is endless. A lot of tools have come up, and people have during this lockdown period developed new, and they have come. And there is a need for proper policy for this online education, and I think government sooner, particularly UGC, is likely to come out with some good regulations in this matter. But hardware is the issue. Not every student is having a good laptop, not having the good internet facility. But most of the engineering colleges are in taluka place at least. And in taluka place, yeah, you have a good internet. So if it is student is remotely located today, it's okay. There are going to be problems. Even in Delhi, we face problems of internet connectivity. Students are bound to face, but there are some alternate ways of working, and I think and the solutions will be depending on the teacher and the students. So locally, you can think of the alternate methods of getting engaged into online teaching. But online teaching is very, very important, and this is uh, this becomes more easy and in more coordinated fashion if we use some good tools that we already have. We maybe newer methods of teaching, people have experimented many, and you have come across many teaching methods. And I found one of the most easy teaching method through online mechanism is to record a small video of 5 minutes on a very small topic and send it across WhatsApp and let him watch. Is what I found the best and most easy, because the student gets the video from the same teacher who was teaching them earlier in face-to-face mode. And we also took the survey. I talked to some of the students and talked to some of the teachers, and this was one of the best method of online teaching, where the video was recorded by a teacher in house on the whiteboard, and that was shared on WhatsApp. Many methods are there. Okay, but what about laboratory? In laboratory, there are many other techniques available, options available. Face to face laboratory, you know what how it happens. There are 20 to 25 students in the laboratory, and only one, in some cases, two students participate. Rest 18, 20 students do not participate in that, and they do not know what is happening. There are there is a need for the laboratory experiments, but there are some alternatives also available, at least for 30 to 40% of the laboratory, and those are virtual laboratories which are already available. That is why I'm saying that so much online content was developed in last 10 years, as if we were anticipating some threat like this. So 1200 laboratories are already available. 1200 laboratories in every engineering discipline, for every course. Say for mechanical engineering, if you go to thermodynamics, there are many virtual experiments available. Professor Karinka, IC engines, your field of interest also, IC engine laboratories are available. So these laboratories give a lot of flexibility. It has its own advantage. In electrical circuits also, you can also drag and connect these resistors and capacitors and see how this circuit can behave without without any damage, without short circuiting, and without much cost. And you can do a lot of experiments. You can plot, you can see their characteristics, and some of the features which are not there in our face-to-face experiments, physical laboratories, they are also there in the virtual laboratory. So a lot of possibilities are there. I have a couple of examples also, school level examples to share with you, and maybe you may be knowing better. Some of the viewers who are watching, they also may be knowing better. They can type in Google and they can YouTube, and they can share with us. I would like to request Professor Karinka to share with me the comments of the people. Um, they can also write, and they can also suggest, and we are learning from each other. I know a Foldscope. which is, set of papers with a lens, which is developed by Indian professor working outside Stanford. I think Stanford professor working in Stanford, but originally Indian. He has developed a full scope, which is quite close to the microscope that we used to have in our schools and colleges. And that costs only $1, only $1, and it means about 75 rupees. See, in 75 rupees, you can have a microscope. In my own school, in my native place, we have given 300 microscopes to children, and these children have carried these microscopes in their homes. And these microscopes you are capable of, zooming a ant to the size of the elephant. So such a magnification power, 144 times it can be zoomed, and you can see even bacteria. You take a dirty water, put it inside the lens, and you can watch it under the lens, and you can watch what is what are the sizes of the bacteria, how do they behave, and it is possible to that creates interest. See, similarly, if we can find out some laboratories which can be carried in compass or bag or at home, uh, it will create interest amongst the student. And if we could create interest in among students, may it be through hackathon, through project based learning, through creating laboratories, through virtual labs, through online videos, through your own videos, through some quizzes, if interest is created, I think majority of the problem is solved. The student will learn on themselves. Teacher is not required then to push them. So the only interest if you could create, and I will also share one or two examples. I think I will be requiring some more time. There are 10 more minutes, but I will take a little more time. So this, I'm just preparing the mindset of the audience, because I'm also finding it little interesting now. Uh, I was told about a large number, maybe close to 1,000 people are listening today currently. For example, 3D printer, which is costing about 14,000 to 15,000 now, not very costly. If we can buy it for the children at home or in the laboratories, a more number of 3D printers, people will start creating, and creating is something very very important. And one of the topmost uh, requirement which we expect out of the student to do is not to only remember what we taught, not to understand what we taught, not only to apply, not only to analyze, but ultimately to create. We want engineers who will create, not the engineers who will remember. And therefore, creating is something which is very, very important. And these 3D printers, if you have more in number, if you have more laboratories, more circuits, more spare parts, either virtual or physical, or virtual first and physical later, will create a lot of interest among students. You see the number of students participating in TechFest, huge number of students, they would like to create, they would like to solve some problem. So creating makes the engineering more interesting, not theory, is what is our observation. Okay. And I request all the viewers to, after this lecture, you can just uh, go to virtual laboratories and find the laboratories, which will be very interesting even for the teachers to do. And advantage of this is, of course, no cost, but no damages. Particularly high voltage experiment, if you want to do, there are no risks here. So short circuit will be shown through simulation, but you will not be getting the electrical shock. And therefore, these virtual experiments have some advantages which even we do not have in our conventional laboratories. Okay. Uh, Under newer methods of teaching, in one line, I would like to tell you newer methods of teaching. You find out every brain will have new idea, but one important thing is problem solving should be involved. Students should be involved with problem solving, hackathon competitions which are now happening in all the campuses. Every college is organizing hackathon, but it is mostly software based hackathon. Every department should actually organize hackathon. In every subject, hackathon should be organized. In whether it is engineering drawing or a machine drawing, or it's a machine design or a vibration, IC engines or thermodynamics, it's a theoretical or a practical course. We should be able to create some hackathon, some problem statement for the students to solve within the campus, and maybe there will be some statewide competitions later, but within the campus you can definitely do that. And this is I remember your team also, Nitesh team has been participating in Baha, and COEP's team has been winning. Out of 12 years, they have won 7 years. And I'm a, I take privilege in mentioning that I was faculty advisor for about 6 years, out of which they have won 5 years. But it is not my contribution, it is student contribution. We had only provided them the garage like space where they have created, and these students have gone abroad. So problem solving, these students are not very, very bright student in terms of academics, in terms of CGPA. These are all normal students, but did extraordinary work. And these students have created conceptualized new gearbox for a four-wheeler, which was conceptualized. But one of the contribution was gearbox, and they had conceptualized and designed, analyzed, and manufactured and put it on vehicle and tested the vehicle, and it was successful. And if these students are asked to come to your class and now you demonstrate, you explain the working of the gearbox, will they be really interested in less understanding, attending your lecture? So these students, when they do it, our dependence is reduced, and students will still, and teachers will still get the credits. Like I am still getting the credits. These students have gone abroad, participated in the competitions abroad, compete with the global teams, 200 in number. They stood overall second in the world. The vehicle that we had, Indian vehicle, was the lightest vehicle in the world, lightest and fastest. In terms of light and the speed, they were number one, overall number two. So Indian students have capability, but creating, that's what I'm saying. Remembering, understanding, analyzing, application, no. Creating makes engineering more interesting is what is one line I would like to talk about. If there is one line out of this lecture, if someone can take, in every course, find out something which can be created. Maybe it may be a drawing, may it be a design, may it be product, may it be component, may it be circuitry, may it be machine, may it be computer program, or software, or website. But creating is necessary. Microsoft was also creation of a software in the garage, Bill Gates. So they created. It was a software, but it was creation. Uh, as he mentioned, Professor Karinka mentioned in the introduction, we had sent a lot of teams, other than my team and all across the country. We had sent a lot of teams, and every Indian team won globally because they were very confident boys. Okay. About newer methods, there is a lot to talk about, but I leave it to you to find out your own ways of online teaching. But online and face-to-face combination is always better, and this is successfully done, implemented. But in my opinion, more than online teaching, what is more challenging is uh, online evaluation. Evaluation is going to be a challenge. Before I come back to online evaluation, let me share with you that Indian students who are going abroad for education will be reduced this year. This is a good news, bad news for those who are going, bad news, but good news for the institutions and India. as a country, because money will not be going. And these students, if they are sharper, they will be staying with us and they will be taking admission in your colleges, my colleges, in Indian colleges. So this number of students who are going every year are around 2.7 lakh students, huge number. 2.7 lakh students go every year. 7.5 lakh students at a steady state outside. If you count number of students abroad, today there are 7.5 lakh students. And some of those who have gone to second year, third year now do not want to go for third year or for fourth year. They may look for an opportunity actually to complete their third year and fourth year from within India, because their parents may allow and may not allow to go abroad. Uh, but we do not know. The picture is not clear, so I will not talk much about it. But there, this number is huge, and this at least those students who are going to first year, they may not have, many of them will not go, and these students will remain in India. Outside situation is also not so good. India, we are far better. In America, we have seen. I just was looking at the unemployability there. I came to know that previous week, 66 lakhs, about 70 lakhs Americans applied for benefit which is given to jobless. Unemployment. So unemployed are given some allowances there, unlike India. So they get, so there are so many people who are looking for this help from the government. It means job is an issue outside also. Job in issue, I mean America. Uh, there are some examples of universities almost getting closed, because some of the universities were only dependent on abroad students abroad, no local students or hardly any student. And these universities which were dependent only on students abroad now are facing serious issues. So future of higher education, like we are worried about, is not only the situation in India. We are far better, I would say. We are far better because a lot of students will be there taking admissions in these colleges. We'll have to only find out some alternate ways or mixed ways of teaching, because social distancing and other things have to be maintained. You may require more classrooms, more laboratories, probably smaller batches, and therefore, to some extent, 20%, 30%, and discussions are going on even up to 40% to switch over to online, depending on online, but involving faculty is being thought of. And this UK also was hit very badly in terms of the university functioning. Many of the universities have gone bankrupt is a fact, and therefore we have to uh, be cautious in our country. But we are far better placed, is what my observation is. Many challenges. This is a difficult time to blame each other. Students are asking for waiving of from examination, no examination. Some students say no, there should be examination. Particularly final year student, last semester is a scoring semester, and if there is no examination, they are worried. But majority of them, survey taken by one of my friend, 80% of them, 85% of them had said they have laptops or the mobile phones. When it came to examination, they said no, we do not have mobiles, we do not have laptops, we do not have internet connectivity, so no examination. So this is all happening, but we have to find out some alternate ways of doing some examinations, online, offline mode. But in this time, what is more important is boosting the moral of the teachers and students. We have to help each other, uh, and also elevate the moral and also morality, because in this time we may there is a possibility of cheating by both students and institutions. So we should be very careful about, and we should uh, restrained from becoming, or misusing this time, which is a very difficult time for everyone. I think with future, if you look at, we will have faster changing days, and because the days are faster changing, communication between the departments, mechanical and civil, mechanical and electrical, electronics and computer instrumentation, which is in a watertight compartment, needs to be removed, and they should start interacting, because this creating, which I am emphasizing on, creating will not happen. It will not be a complete creation, and therefore this is, in my opinion, important. Cooperation, coordination is important. Online cooperation, online teaching is happening, but online co-creation, online co-creation is important. There are 4 or 5 people who are online available, connecting with each other, but if they can connect with each other, although they are not together, and if they can create something, for example, creating a course, creating a book, creating an article, creating a thesis, BTech, MTech thesis you have to create, or creating a product, creating a robot, creating some products, okay, will be very useful in these difficult days. If in future also we are not likely to meet as closely as we used to meet, and therefore some ways, alternate ways, which are coming to my mind through thinking and through reading, are being shared with you. One of the surveys says MBA students, MBA admissions who are engineering graduates, taken a job, 1 year, 2 year they work, then third year, fourth year they come to the college, do MBA, go back to the industry. These students are also thinking of continuing the job, because there is a threat in losing the job. So MBA admissions may also have some issues this year. PG students may, PG admissions may have, but I don't think engineering institutions will have big difficulties. Employment opportunities, I think conventional employment may be affected, but new employment opportunities are many. Because of the crisis, every time there is a crisis, there are new ways of working, there are new requirements, there are new problems, and new problems requires new solutions, and new solutions means new opportunities. So we have to depend on not the conventional opportunities, but find out the opportunities, and you have to be the first in this race to grab this new opportunity. Always, who is the first is important, and who is most beneficial. Therefore, we have to be the first in grabbing the opportunities. I was attending a seminar last week. In Japan, the average age is much, much higher than Indian average age. Japan is the oldest country in India. Oh, sorry. Japan is the oldest country in the world, and they are oldest because they have good healthcare, so they do not die. They replace the joint, and they start walking and become young, and then their heart start functioning because they start walking. So their age is more. Also, the young generation would like to enjoy, and they therefore don't want to get married. And when they don't want to get married, new Japanese, young Japanese are less in number, and therefore the requirement there is huge. Requirement for engineer is today, I'm told in one of the report, 5 lakh engineers are what required. But one of the important requirement is knowing Japanese language, good Japanese. And that is a prime requirement. I told you the importance of mother tongue. They greatly respect Japanese, and therefore Japanese language is a must. And if you can, if we have students who know Japanese or who can learn Japanese in next 6 years, 6 months to 8 months, 10 months, then lot of opportunities. Now these Japanese are about equal in number in software and hardware. Mechanical engineers around 2.5 lakh engineers, mechanical engineers they need. In India we have more requirement for software, but they have equal requirement. 2.5 for software, 2.5 for mechanical engineers. Now this requirement in Japan is going to increase suddenly because Japanese government has announced a package for Japanese companies working or were working in China. Those companies who were set up in China are being asked to come back, and government is attracting these industries by way of a package, giving a package, financial support to them. And therefore, if these companies go back to Japan in their own countries, there will be increased requirement in Japan. So 5 lakh may become 6 lakh, 7 lakh. So a lot of opportunities for us. I would like to uh, close in another 2-3 minutes. But before I close, let me share with you something on evaluation, which I said evaluation is a challenge, but if we are really required to conduct the examination uh, by having student in his home or at any other place or even hostel or his flat, technology is enabling us to do this. So I was reading about it, finding what people are doing, and there are people in some private universities already doing this, which is called as a proctoring, monitoring, invigilating, but not person in person, not in the classroom, remotely, online monitoring through artificial intelligence, through face recognition. So invigilation is one duty that we do. Identification of the candidate is something which we do, and we ask them to reply to the questions, write the answers, whether it is objective type or subjective type. There are ways of doing it. There are ways of monitoring their faces. Facial recognition softwares are available. We are able to find the student location through GIS, built-in GIS in our evaluation portal. If we develop it, the start will be very clear, the end of the examination will be very clear, maybe sometimes difficult in face-to-face examination. Cheating will be almost impossible, because cheating is possible when you have many students sitting there, because you are monitoring them through a camera, through the audio, through by blocking his internet, blocking all the sites excepting one portal, that is the examination portal. Also through keystrokes, what he types, through keystrokes you can monitor them, and softwares are capable of doing this, capable of looking at it, capable of checking if somebody impersonating. There are some people who have also tried uh, remote proctoring, but parental proctoring. Parents sitting there, and parent and student both are monitored by the system. Okay, so a lot of, I think, opportunity, a lot of options are there for us, and this examination will be better in quality than our regular. Regular, we know if we invigilator starts looking at other things, they will extend the papers and they will copy. Here, the chances are almost nil. Okay, and this technology can do it with good internet, but this is not the alternative. There will be, there will be requirement of other ways of evaluation, because internet hardware is not available with everyone. And I would like to uh, close now by saying that in engineering what we do is we teach them advanced areas. You do PG courses are more advanced. In our IC engines, Professor Karinka, we have thermal analysis, and we have prediction of the pressure inside the cylinder, temperature inside the cylinder, the chemical composition of the gas within the cylinder at any point, any point. We can do CFD analysis when the engine is running at so high speed, such a high speed. We are able to predict. At every millisecond, everything, we have the technology. Such a higher end teaching is happening in our institutions, and we are dealing with it. But there are some very fundamental problems in the country. India is a country with extremity. There are people who are in top 20 richest people in the world, but country also has now, this is very, very alarming. We need to look at that two-thirds of the India. We have been talking about 125 120, 125 crore people, 125 crore Indians. But how many? Two-thirds of people in India live in poverty. Two-thirds, 70% of the Indian population lives with only just $2 a day. $2. And more than half of them, they live, they are not having even $2, just $1.25 per day. We do not know. I mean, if you go to slums, you will come to know the poverty, the level of the poverty. There are very, very poor people. There are people who are dying because of the food. There are crores of people who can afford only one meal a day. There are 1.5 lakh people dying because of the accidents every year. 1.5 lakh people dying because of the TB. TB is because you are weak. You are weak because you have no food. You have TB and dying because of the TB because you are not having good healthcare system. So India is a country with a lot of problems, and our problems are, as I told you, our problems are our problems and no one can solve. We have transportation problems, safety problems, healthcare, sanitation, water. We don't have drinking water. Education is not available for everyone. Electricity is not available for everyone. Pollution is such a big issue, particularly in Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai. You know the level of pollution. So we have problems, very severe problems, serious problem on one hand, and we as an engineer are working on problems which are solving maybe Ford's problem, Mercedes's problem, IC engine prediction. We do something, we solve some problems which are maybe problems of the developed society. Our engineers go work there in the US, they help their economy grow, and here people are dying every minute only by sewage cleaning. People die every year, which are in hundreds. They go there in the drainage pipeline, they can't come back. Truth, because of suffocation. And we have no mechanization, we have no machineries to deal with. We have Mercedes problems we are dealing with are useful for Mercedes, but we were not working on the problems of our own people, is what my feeling. And therefore, I would like to share with you, whatever be the future of education, our curriculum, our labs, our focus, our projects, our hackathons, our competitions, our projects, our mini projects, our seminars, our topics of discussions, our debates, our angle of teaching should have, should connect with the Indian problems. Which we cannot, live in India and let these problems remain unattended. With this note and with this request, I would like to take the leave. I would like to thank all the audience for giving a patient hearing. I will be very, very glad if in next few minutes, if you can type some comments of your own. We will get the feedback, and maybe next time I will definitely do a better seminar on some better topics which is close to your heart, which is concerning you, which is concerning your student, which is concerning your institution, which is concerning all of us. So I will be very, very glad to get it. And therefore, once again, I would like to thank you. And I would like to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to talk to You people talk to the faculty members, talk to the students. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very inspiring talk, sir. You're able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able
Sir,
to hear.
you have time to take one or two questions?
I will be glad to take.
Okay, one Mr. Jignesh Solanki has a question. He is asking, sir, in your point of view, which is better, online versus offline, and why? This is his question.
I told. I told. Uh, no technology will be replacing the human, but online has good features, and we should find out what suits me and my students. And I told you, nothing was better than recording the video by the faculty themselves for their own student. The students like that more than this NPTEL and more than Swayam and many things which I spoke about. More than everything, they liked what you had shared your own videos on WhatsApp. So they like the teachers, and therefore blended education will be better, and that's only going to be useful. Is what my clear opinion. I'm very clear on this. So it is neither fully offline nor fully online. It is the blend of the two, which doesn't replace the student, which doesn't replace the teacher. Okay.
Very nice, sir. Another, sir, it is to be fair with them. Some of them had put in the comment section, especially those students, they want to move on to the next higher semester without giving the exam. So there were such comments, and in this type of situation, so you may please comment on that, sir.
Okay. Now please take this as my personal opinion. Uh, I believe if there is there is some challenge, you prepare well. You know the subject well because there are examinations. And therefore, there has to be some examination. Merely carrying them forward may not be a solution, but respective university vice chancellors and their state ministers are already giving a thing, serious thought over it, and 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 they know the situation better. Every state may have a different problem. Maybe Bihar problem and Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra problem, Delhi problem can be different, and therefore there can be different solutions. But I believe that students should prepare themselves first. Very important. Use this time to learn more and more, and maybe better. And you got longer time this time, so better focus instead of watching this news and uh, corroding your own mind. It's better that and you get demoralized by looking at this. See, in this corona I did a lot of things myself, some hobbies, some writing, some reading, and some webinars, many webinars. So we did good work, and you also use this time, but don't say no to examination. Some examination, it will be up to them. And there is technology available. There are, I think, platforms available. Somehow, some of them have already developed. Advantage of the software technology is that it can be easily, adapted. There, there are already universities who are conducting examination, proctored examination, but student should have the laptop, and it should have the camera, good camera, face recognition, AI built in. I think those who have it, they should do it. Those who have maybe plan ABC, student may be given freedom to choose one of the plan, but students should not say no to examination.
Yes.
They will make you. And today only I in the morning, while I was testing this portal, this video call, I received a message in the interview. Oh, you are from which batch? 2020. The interview panel says stay home, stay safe. So, sorry, it is a joke. It is a joke, but that
Yeah,
should
yeah.
not happen to us. That should not be happen to our university. That should not happen to this college. This is the autonomous college. Yeah, this college should say, my students have given examination. They were not promoted without
Yes,
examination.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent, sir. Because that question came up there in the chat, that's why I put it before you. Otherwise, I am also of the same opinion what you have said. Perfect, sir.
Yeah.
Without exam, there is no sanctity, nothing actually.
Most of the good students are also, most of the good students,
Yeah.
80-90% of the students are willing. I'm
Yes.
telling you, only those 10% students who are not ready, who are not
Yeah.
prepared, and
Yes.
some of them may be having very genuine problem. So give
Yeah.
them plan B. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Perfect, sir. Sir, we
Uh,
have one more question from our own. She is Professor Shalini K. Sharma. She is head of placements, counseling, and all. And she has asked one question to you that what stream of Bachelor of Engineering would have least demand post COVID?
Very difficult question. uh, no, I'm not the astrologer, nor I can predict with this only limited experience of lockdown. But somehow I feel that this soft will be more demand is what I'm carrying a feeling. Soft thing, maybe video, WhatsApp videos, YouTube, webinars. These soft things will be more in use, and people, because they will be some of them they might have lost jobs, some of them will be losing because they will not be because they will be having less money, because there is general impression that Spain, this is the year of saving life. So they will be less. Spending less means buying physical products less. So physical hardware, hard thing will be lesser in demand. So manufacturing, mechanical manufacturing is likely to be having a setback. But software and maybe platforms, educational technology related thing will be more in demand.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, Principal, sir, have any question?
No, I don't have any question, but only I wish to thank our speaker for giving very excellent inputs on some of the points. One of that which really was very nice to hear from him is co-creation.
Yes.
We have been talking only about creation when we are physically with each other, but in this difficult times when we are on online, we also need to see how we can co-create together. I believe that that's one great thing that I really got it from this. And to basically, he also talked about which branch may have less demand in the days to come because of the present situation. I fully agree with the professor, but again, I think every branch has its own share. So maybe the way in which we tackle problems or we find solutions may change, but no branch of engineering will have any lesser demands. The modalities may change, as Professor rightly put it. Thank you.
Now I'll conclude, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, it is a very inspiring talk. We are all extremely delighted with your talk, sir. So we are extremely grateful to Professor Dilip Malkade, Advisor 1, Head of the Bureau of Policy and Academic Planning, for delivering an insightful webinar on the future of education, in particular engineering education. The lecture has given a lot of inputs and direction to all the participants. So we are all benefited by your excellent lecture, sir. We are really grateful to you. So on behalf of all of us, I say thank you, sir. Thank you very much for taking our request and coming forward and giving this wonderful lecture. Really, I have many points are clear to me as well. And we are grateful to AICT Chairman Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, Vice Chairman Professor Punya, and as you said, sir, Member Secretaries Professor Mittal and Professor Rajiv Kumar, and all other officials, including Press Bureau officials. And we saw that this was like put in Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. We are happy about it. And I thank NITTA management, our institute management. Our chairman, president is Sri N. Vinay Hegde. Maybe you may know about him, sir. So I thank our president and the entire NITTA management and principal Dr. Niranjan Chiplinkar and my team members, Professor Grainal and Professor Raghavendra Pai. So because of them, this could be done very well, sir, with all their support. And last, not the least, not the least, is the participants. So I really thank all the participants who have really taken great interest, and we got nearly 1,000 registrations with us, nearly 1,000, and we don't know how many were there other than the registration. So this is what is the information about this from our end, sir. So again, thanking on behalf of all of us, we really are we are so happy that to have one-on-one sort of conversation with you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, sir.